This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6, we are following breaking news after a baby hit by a car in a tragic accident passes away overnight. Coming up, what police say went terribly wrong.
It's a gift to remember, a major donation going to medical research in hopes that it might eventually lead to a cure for a devastating disease. It is Tuesday, August the 20th. We begin with a Storm Team 6 alert day. Good morning, Indiana. Good morning as well to Avon, Bloomington, and Carmel on this Tuesday. I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We are joined by meteorologist Todd Clausen, and that is because the skies are bright, especially to our west right now. There are some storms a-brewing.
Yeah, you know, nothing severe this morning. That's the good news, but obviously lightning can cause a lot of issues. You cannot be outside when these storms roll through. And as you look at the map here, you see there's just a couple clusters of isolated downpours and a little bit of lightning. Now, this storm has lost quite a bit of its lightning. It's kind of weakened a little bit from what it once was just an hour ago, but nonetheless, heavy rainfall right now on I-65 just south of Clarks Hill through the Lebanon area as you come into Boone County and almost down to where 65 and 865 meet there in southern portions of Boone County. This storm is moving off towards the northeast, and it's going to be in the Kirkland area as we get a little closer to about 620 to 625. The shower that was near Speedway is really falling apart. Just a few light rain showers in and around the metro area right now. So this cluster of storms will go through this morning. To the south, you're dealing with a little bit of cloud cover, but to the east, it's still mainly clear. This cluster of storms in Iowa now will start to make their way towards central Indiana, and the track of that will be key to determining who sees the severe threat later on this afternoon. We'll time it out for you and show you where we think it's going to hit with TrueCast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Breaking overnight, 2 people are recovering after gunfire at a West Side apartment complex. Metro Police responded to a call around 1:30 this morning to the Falcon Creek apartment complex on West 43rd Street. That's near Muller Road and West Pike Plaza. Police say a man and woman were sitting in the car when the suspects started shooting. Both were taken to the hospital. Police say the suspects took off, but they're not sure if they were walking or driving.
At 6:03, we follow more breaking news. RTV6 getting word that a 5-month-old baby is dead after an incident police are describing as tragic. Investigators say the child was sitting in an infant seat in the driveway outside a home on the city's southeast side. That's when the baby's father pulled into the driveway, not seeing that car seat. The baby's mother had stepped inside the home briefly, leaving the infant outside with an older child, but no one was standing right next to that baby. Police said the infant was pronounced dead at Riley Hospital for Children this morning. They tell us the parents are cooperating with investigators.
The Department of Child Services is investigating after a daycare let a 2-year-old boy wander out into the middle of 82nd Street alone. The toddler somehow got out of Tomorrow's Child Care Daycare Ministry on the northeast side of Indianapolis Friday. His parents are grateful that a Good Samaritan then grabbed the boy out of the street and took him to safety, but they are demanding answers from the daycare about how this happened.
I know she cares about her students and her kids as well, and she's a mother as well. Of course, I know she felt some sorrow, but my son's safety, it could have ended like tragically, just like that, in the drop of a hat.
Because Tomorrow's Child Daycare Ministry does not accept federal vouchers, it doesn't have to follow the same regulations as licensed facilities like staff-to-child ratios. RTV6 found records that show the state inspected the ministry on July 11th and cited it for half a dozen different health and safety violations. The owner declined to answer questions from RTV6.
A court date now set for a state lawmaker and Indianapolis firefighter now facing several criminal charges. An initial hearing for Dan Forrestal now scheduled for August 27th. Police arrested Forrestal this month on the city's east side. He's accused of driving while intoxicated and impersonating law enforcement. Forrestal has also been suspended without pay from the fire department pending the outcome of his case. The time now is 6:05. It is a major gift that could lead to a significant breakthrough in fighting one of the country's deadliest diseases.
The Alzheimer's Association's Greater Indiana chapter giving $1 million to an early onset Alzheimer's study led by the IU School of Medicine. At least 5.6 million people in the U.S. are living with Alzheimer's, and 200,000 of those experienced early onset symptoms. Researchers say that's why this gift is so important.
These people are working, raising children, not ready to retire. The impact on the families is huge, on the society as a whole as well, because we lose people that are in the workforce.
The $1 million donation is the highest and the biggest research gift ever from the local Alzheimer's Association. DNA for the study is being collected from across the country, but the analysis and results will come from IU. A reminder that even though there is no cure for Alzheimer's, doctors say medications can help with the symptoms. They recommend families get legal help to make sure their loved ones' affairs are in order as the disease progresses, and the Alzheimer's Association can offer support. We have more on the signs of early onset Alzheimer's under this story on the IndyChannel.com.
It is time for Hiring Hoosiers, RTV6's initiative connecting you to jobs and training programs. Do you remember when you learned how to use a bank account or a checking account, maybe those credit cards? Well, students are now managing money through an actual bank, their own bank that they run at their own school. And our Aaron Lish is live at Owen Valley High School this morning, where they are getting classroom to career ready. Aaron, these students have their own mini bank branch, and they actually can do transactions there. That's amazing.
It's impressive. It's impressive. And right now, things are kind of quiet. About an hour from now, that'll be totally different. This place will be packed. But they actually run the bank here. It's supervised by some employees from our community bank. And they come right here twice a day to help out those kids. So right before the bell rings for the first thing of class to lunchtime, kids can do transactions like deposits, taking money out, and just checking their accounts. And if they have any questions, they can help with debit cards and online banking. They can also open up bank accounts for those students. And this is all through their Financial Literacy Academy. They learn how to write checks, balance accounts, and manage their money, which teachers and students agree is vital to know in the adult world.
Some kids that I don't get, and I'll ask them, do you know how to write checks? Do you know how to do this? No, I never learned. Well, you're going to college next year. It's time to learn.
I really like the fact that I'm learning it early, so I don't have to be struggling once I move out and go to college and go on my own.
So talking with bank employees, they say this gives a chance for those students helping out like Tiana, a chance to build their communication skills as they help other students manage those accounts. And this is the first full year of this mini branch. And coming up in the next half hour, we're going to have a little bit more from Tiana and how she says this entire experience is shaping her career for the future. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much. The time now is 6:08, and people disappointed that Ruoff Home Music Center had to postpone last weekend's Luke Bryan concert. That show was rescheduled for October due to severe storms that moved through the area on Sunday. But some who tried to attend the show tell us it was a mess trying to seek shelter from the storm. And they wish they were given more time to find rides home or have a better plan in place to find safety.
They wanted us to walk to the Uber lot. There was lightning. A home had been struck by lightning in Carmel and was burning to the ground. No one wanted to be out in the lightning walking in that weather. And so the fact that there was no plan in place.
The Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center management sent us this statement saying to all of us that all guests were able to leave that venue safely on that day. This is a Storm Team 6 alert day. We are tracking severe weather heading our way. And our Todd Clausen, as you know, safety is always the #1 concern for everyone, no matter where you are, but especially if you're outside, right? You want to be safe.
Yeah, it's got to be weather-wise, not only at a concert, but just walking around your neighborhood. Obviously, you don't want to go walking out if there's going to be a thunderstorm, but that's why we have Storm Team 6 alert days for you to alert you that there is the potential for strong to severe weather. And so this morning there's nothing severe out there, but the lightning making these storms dangerous. The heaviest of the rain in the Lebanon area right now, crossing over Interstate 65. And then as we come back down into Indianapolis, that shower kind of weakens. So there's a few sprinkles in and around the metro area. So those storms will kind of fade away, but it's this cluster of storms moving through Iowa that is going to track towards central Indiana. The track will be key. So most likely it's going to kind of dive down towards the south, and that's why the slight risk is in place, mainly from, say, Peru over towards the Winchester area and points to the south. Damaging wind will be the main threat as some of these storms start to move in addition to some locally heavy rainfall, which could cause a little bit of localized flooding. We'll talk more about that storm threat for later on today on the Storm Team 6 Alert Day coming up in just a few minutes.
hope it'll be exciting as a TV show, but a career as an EMT can be rewarding, and it can also help save lives. Just ahead of high school, getting the next generation of emergency workers ready for the real world.
Here is the warm, thickly cushioned contour seats, available even in fine Corinthian leather.
Another Hoosier found a great job in the company that used to make those fine seats for cars. Coming up, we'll show you how he did so using a program connecting students to manufacturers. The time now is 6:11. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
To make a difference.
Time now is 6:13, and we're taking a live look right now at I-465 at Keystone Avenue. Things moving along just fine in this area, but a reminder that just north of here at I-465 at 96th Street, there is some construction going on, so just make sure to pay attention to that as you head out the door. This month, we're sharing how schools are helping prepare students for careers before they graduate. The Pike Career and STEM Center offers many programs for students to get a head start on the field they're interested in.
And one of those programs prepares students for their first job in the medical field. Our Alyssa Donovan has more on how students can graduate and walk right into a job.
The EMT program here at Pike Career and STEM Center at Pike High School gives students a base of knowledge that allows them to graduate with an EMT certification. And thanks to a partnership with a local employer, those students can also get a job right when they graduate. Now, students in the EMT program learn important skills that can be the base for any job in the medical field. The class gives them the opportunity to learn about different body systems and treatments. Students learn the basics from how to deliver babies to allergic reactions to head injuries. Students also have the opportunity to shadow people in the jobs they are interested in, like doctors and EMTs. The class also offers field trips to see a burn unit, an emergency room, and flight medicine. They get to see a vast number of things to see if it's really what they want to do for a career.
You can come out of this class certified already as EMT, and as a position, as like going forward to paramedics, you need the EMT class to become a paramedic, and why not get it in high school? And you can like jump out right into a job position.
The Career Center partners with an employer who is willing to hire students right when they finish high school. The pay is around $35,000 a year, and the employer offers tuition reimbursement if the student plans to continue education.
Alyssa, thank you. Last week, we showed you how an organization called INMAC is connecting students to hundreds of internships in manufacturers across our state. And we saw just how much those students learned and the important connections they made. Well, today, our Lauren Casey takes a look at an INMAC success story, how one Kokomo native is finding career success at Fiat Chrysler Automobiles.
Manufacturing makes our country strong. We have to have that to be a strong state.
James Wolf tells me about the important work done by Hoosier hands. In Howard and Tipton counties, employees at Fiat Chrysler Automobiles produce transmissions for Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Chryslers that ship worldwide.
Our future workforce is very important to us, so this internship helps us glean young people at an early age and get them interested in manufacturing.
But the problem is many people have the wrong picture of what it's like to work in manufacturing.
They know what a doctor is, they know what a policeman is, but they don't know what a manufacturer does. And they see these big buildings and think that it's yucky inside. Well, it's hospital clean. So it's not just standing in one position all day long for 30 years. The more education they get, the sky's the limit as to what they can do.
And that's why internships are so important to FCA and other manufacturers. It's essentially an interview that can span an entire summer or semester.
We're really looking at them. Who wants to stay with us? Who do we want to continue to develop?
People like Luke Shepard, a Kokomo native who has spent a number of years interning and working at FCA. He started going there in high school, did internships, and is now in a co-op, finishing his degree while he works as a supervisor of a maintenance team. After his experiences, he changed his career focus from engineering to managing people and machines.
Going in and you might think this is what you want to do, but after you get the experience, you might see, okay, maybe I'll go a different route.
And thanks to his work experience, Shepard is on the path to working full-time at FCA with a degree debt-free.
And getting paid, I'm not worried about digging myself out of a hole.
And his advice to others who may be managing people his parents, even his grandparents' age?
Try to get to work 30 minutes early, building relationships with these guys and talking with them and knowing not just their work life, but their personal life.
Lauren Casey reporting there. Wolf tells her many of their interns are in leadership areas like management and logistics, and so communication is an important soft skill, as is working on a team. And these interns really get a feel for what their future could look like in these leadership roles. You can find more about this unique program at our website, hiringhoosiers.com. It is 6:18 right now, and we need to take a look at our forecast. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day.
Yeah, we're in alert mode for the potential of severe weather here today across the area. I know some of you got the early morning wake-up call with some storms moving through, and there still are some storms out there currently, but it's really late this afternoon that we are going to be dealing with the potential of the severe weather, really prompting the alert day. But hazy sunshine and lots of heat and humidity in store for us as well. Here's a live look outside right now, and we had a vivid lightning display earlier. The storms that are currently out there still have some lightning, but not nearly as much as they did just an hour and a half ago. The most lightning is just north of Lebanon right now and south of Frankfurt, moving towards the Kirkland area. And then right across 421, there's also some lightning strikes and also some very heavy rainfall. Some light rain showers from Indianapolis south down towards the Franklin area as well as Edinburgh. Then we have this heavy downpour with a little bit of lightning just crossing over Lake Monroe there in southern Monroe County. That's going to be scooting into the hills of Brown County, and then another downpour over towards Kokomo. So where it is raining, for the most part, it's raining quite heavy. The one exception is that one little shower moving through southern portions of Marion County. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going on across central Indiana this morning. So it's really feast or famine with these downpours. If you do encounter, obviously slow down just a little bit. And if there is some lightning, hold off on going outside for just a little while. The next thing we'll watch for is this cluster of storms. Watch how they blossom really quickly there across parts of Iowa. Those should start to race off towards the south and southeast. So the track of these storms are going to kind of go off towards the south and east. So that's why from Indianapolis southward, I think that's the best potential for the strong to severe weather threat later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. It's a slight risk for most of central Indiana from the Storm Prediction Center. The main impact would be lightning as well as wind. Obviously, lightning doesn't make a storm severe. It makes it dangerous, but the wind is what could prompt some of those warnings late this afternoon into the early evening hours. So we'll lose the downpours that we have out there right now by about mid-morning. Your lunch hour should be just fine. And then once we head into the afternoon hours, we'll watch for some storms to blossom, but then here comes that cluster from Iowa here into central Indiana, and it could be in a weakening state, which would be ideal for us, right? We'd love to get a little bit of rainfall in here on the dry ground without the threat of severe weather. But nonetheless, I would say from 4 to about 7 o'clock, there will be the chance of a few strong to severe storms. Temperatures this morning currently in the 70s. It's warm, it's muggy. Not much changes here throughout the day today. We'll deal with the heat. We'll deal with the humidity as well, with high temperatures that get up to right around 90 degrees once again. But the main issue again today will be the potential for the severe weather. Hot and humid tomorrow, but there is relief heading our way, and it's just in time for the weekend with highs right around 80 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you. This is a live look right now here at 621 I-465 at US 36, State Road 67. No issues to report in this area. We do have a reminder for you, however, if you are near this area, East 38th Street is closed between Arlington Avenue and Pendleton Pike as crews are replacing a bridge deck there. So that is something to keep in mind as you hit the road this morning. Our Trending 6 is next on Good Morning Indiana, and the great debate we all need to have is finally here. Who is the best when it comes to a certain sandwich? Think about it, and then we'll talk about it coming up.
Store, Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Before you head out the door, it is time for the Trending 6.
You know how it goes. The bride and the groom are in place. The guests are seated, and then that familiar music hits. Pow!
If you smell what the rock is cooking.
Duh, duh.
Yeah, not the Nick that I was expecting, but the people's champion is now the people's husband. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson married longtime partner Lauren Hashian in a surprise ceremony in Hawaii over the weekend. Johnson and Hashian have been together 12 years and have 2 children together. And we guess we can finally pop the question. Lauren smelled what The Rock was cooking. That's a $12,000 wedding dress, by the way, in case you were looking for your own copycat, I guess. Maybe?
Nope, not right now, Raphael. Brace yourself for the results of this survey about how often people change their underwear. The underwear company Tommy John asked 2,000 American men and women and found out that 45%, yes, almost half of them, don't change their underwear daily. They admitted to wearing the same pair for 2 days or longer. The survey was conducted by an American underwear company trying to sell more underwear.
And now we move on. The sun has set on Lil Nas X's Old Town Road. Billie Eilish's song Bad Guy is now #1 atop the Hot 100. Old Town Road had a record 19-week run at the top. Nas X was happy for her, tweeting, "Congratulations to Billie Eilish. You deserve it."
In the Florida Keys, they encourage you to hand feed the giant tarpon. But this feeding was a close call for Austin Graver. Check out the fish coming for the fish in Austin's hand. Luckily, the tarpon, am I pronouncing that correctly? Tarpon only took the fish and not the hand that was feeding him. How does that saying go? Don't bite the hand that feeds you?
Even if it's strong, it's going to take it all. We woke up this morning to see that Bob Barker trending on Twitter, and this is why. No, that's not the former Price is Right host, just a man who kind of looks like him trying to play crocodile hunter. We're seeing this video for the first time with an alligator. Dude, what are you doing? Yeah, not good. This is from Florida, and this does not go well. As you can see, the gator is not happy, and luckily the man who was trying to subdue him there is okay.
If that would be impressive if it was Bob Barker, because he's 95 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, Popeye's restaurant has a new chicken sandwich. It made its debut last week, so that has started a debate on social media. Who has the best chicken sandwich? Chick-fil-A, of course, had to weigh in. A lot of people love their Chick-fil-A. That brought out this response from Popeyes asking if they were okay. Wendy's is also well known for its sassy social media. It offered this tweet saying others were fighting over who had the second best chicken sandwich. Even places that don't have chicken sandwiches are getting involved. Check out this tweet from Boston Market. What do you guys think?
I didn't even know Boston Market had a chicken sandwich.
No, they don't have a chicken sandwich. Do you listen?
I don't even know where Boston Market is. But
I eat chicken bones.
This guy needs to get out more. Pardon?
I eat chicken bones.
You eat chicken bones?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to vote for Culver's because they are one of the only restaurants that offer gluten-free bun. Love you, Culver's. All right, Tom, let's talk weather.
Some spotty downpours out there that used all my time. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Drive at Honda of Fishers.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6:30 on this Tuesday with kids back to school across central Indiana, our Classroom to Career stories focused on helping them take steps towards a future job. This morning, we're looking at programs designed to help them be successful every day.
But first, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day, and we need to get right to Storm Team 6 meteorologist Todd Clausen. Todd, we are seeing lightning out there, some rainfall in some places. What can we expect for the rest of the day?
You know, it's been these isolated downpours this morning with a lot of lightning. Nothing severe this morning. Alert mode for the potential of severe storms later on this afternoon. But here's what's happening right now as you walk out the door. Obviously, if there's lightning, do not go outside. But the lightning's kind of tailed off a little bit here. But a downpour with a couple lightning strikes up there in the Kokomo area. And then as we slide a little further to the south, this is the storm that was producing a tremendous amount of lightning. Still a little bit in there from Frankfort over towards the Kirkland area. And then as we slide down to the south, this downpour just went through the Lake Monroe area, now sliding into southern sections of Brown County. So there are a few spotty downpours here and there this morning, but most of central Indiana is dry. What we're concerned about for later on today is this cluster of storms that's really blossomed across Iowa. This is going to dive off towards the south southeast, and it should arrive later on this afternoon. Before it does, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity once again, with temperatures that'll be climbing into the mid to upper 80s. And then here comes that line of stronger storms by about 4 or 5 o'clock. We'll talk more about these storms and look ahead to when we get some relief from this heat coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. It's 6:32. Our live drive is out and about, making sure that your morning commute is A-OK. We're live this morning at I-70 westbound near Mount Comfort Road. We have seen some hit and miss showers this morning. As you've heard Todd's forecast throughout this morning on the Storm Team 6 alert day, some of you have seen some showers on the city's west side or west of Indianapolis. But at this point, those showers have not caused any issues on the roadways. We are monitoring this as well as your forecast on this Tuesday. Meredith?
Classroom to Career is part of our Hiring Hoosiers initiative, helping you get your kids ready for what's next. As children grow, so does the importance of managing money. Kids are learning how to do just that through a student-run bank at their school. Our Erin Lish is live this morning from Owen Valley High School with how this is getting kids classroom to career ready. Hey, Erin.
Good morning. So maybe you're in the finance industry or everyday life. You need to understand money. And kids right here at the high school, they are learning just that inside the bank's mini branch. In the halls of Owen Valley High School.
I don't have an account yet in like any bank. Could I get that started?
Kids can find a mini branch of our community bank where students are taking part in the OBC Financial Literacy Academy.
Could they cash it here?
What we would do. Getting hands-on experience from bank employees.
We're here to help the students learn about banking, answer any questions that they may have, and our hopes are to get into the classroom.
Students who run the mini branch also develop skills and knowledge on how to manage their money.
I just recently got my first job, and so I like the fact that I'm learning about checking accounts now that I have to do it like at the same time.
Teachers say learning to write checks, balance accounts, and use a debit card are essential in the real world.
Some kids that I don't get, and I'll ask them, do you know how to write checks? Do you know how to do this? No, I never learned. Well, you're going to college next year. It's time to learn.
Students can help their fellow students with their actual accounts and in the process, see if they want to explore a career in banking.
I'm learning a lot about the business aspect and like how to go forth if that's what I wanted to do in my life.
So kids can put in or take out money right here at the branch before school starts and at lunchtime. And if they don't have an account, they can actually open one up right here on the spot. And since we are in school today, who is your favorite teacher? We are talking about getting kids ready to get into that education field. We will have that tomorrow here on Good Morning Indiana. Back to you in the studio.
Erin, thank you. All this month, we've been showcasing ways local schools are helping young Hoosiers get on a career path nice and early.
I'm learning so much for the past couple of weeks. The Pike Career and STEM Center offers several programs that will help lay the base for anyone interested in a job in the medical field. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. Alyssa, tell us more about this program that you're talking about.
So this is a wonderful program. Students enrolled in this get a great base of knowledge that will help them learn those skills that they need for the medical field if that's the career they choose. Now, students who do this program also earn a certification that allows them to get a job right away when they graduate if that's what they want to do. Students we spoke to who are in the program say they wanted to get a head start on careers in the medical field. Along with the certification, they're also earning college credit. That will help them get a head start if they choose to further their education. In the classroom, students learn basics like bandaging wounds and CPR, as well as the correct way to transport patients. The instructor says the program is a great way for high schoolers to determine if this field is right for them.
Anybody who's interested in going into the medical field or even into medicine, it gives them an opportunity to see all different kinds of body systems, treatments and things. They get to do all kinds of field trips that allows them to see a burn unit, the emergency room, flight medicine. So they get a chance to see a whole vast number of things to see if it's really what they want to do for the rest of their career.
Analyzing heart rhythm.
After they graduate, students can get a job immediately. The program partners with a local employer that is willing to hire those who complete the program right when they graduate. And tomorrow on Good Morning Indiana, we're going to show you a program up in Anderson that teaches kids those skills they need for a career in construction. That's all new tomorrow on Good Morning Indiana. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. If you're looking to learn more about these career programs or other job opportunities in Central Indiana, our Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page is a big help. That's where you can find posts from prospective companies looking for new employees and all of our other Hiring Hoosiers stories. That's all just a click away for you on the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. And our Hiring Hoosiers Classroom to Career initiative continues all week right here on Good Morning Indiana. Here's a preview of some of the stories and schools we'll be featuring this week. So be sure to join us all week right here on Good Morning Indiana from 4:30 to 7.
The time now is 6:38. We continue to follow stories breaking overnight. Police searching for the people responsible for opening fire on a car on the city's northwest side. 2 people inside that car were shot. Police say it happened just before 2 this morning in the Falcon Creek apartment complex. That's near 43rd and Muller Road. A man and woman were sitting in that vehicle when the suspects started shooting. Both were taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say the suspects took off, but they're not sure if they were walking or driving.
A teacher and coach accused of sexual misconduct with a student is on paid leave and still has a job at a Hendricks County school. This morning, the Northwest School Board is defending the decision to keep Tyler Bruce. Bruce is under criminal investigation for allegedly molesting a 17-year-old student at Tri-West High School. He has not been charged. In response to questions from Call 6 Investigates, the board issued a statement saying, quote, the board members voted based on preponderance of evidence delivered at the employee's requested conference with the school board, including administrators, witnesses, and legal representatives. If additional evidence is presented, the school board will act immediately upon the recommendation of our administration.
A jury selection is underway in Noblesville this morning for a gruesome case out of Clark County. Joseph Oberhansley is accused of killing his former girlfriend, Tammy Jo Blanton, in 2014, then eating parts of her remains. Potential jurors are being asked a number of personal questions, including if previous instances of murder or rape would influence their opinions. A Clark County prosecutor, Jeremy Mull, says selecting a jury far away from Clark County is important to ensure that the jurors have not been influenced by previous coverage of this case.
These jurors are being thoroughly vetted, and we are going to end up with a jury who is able to hear the case without any sorts of predispositions that are going to cause problems later on down in the case.
Jurors were told to prepare for sequestration for about 2 weeks. Opening statements in the case are expected to begin tomorrow in Clark County.
It's back to school time for colleges across Central Indiana. On IU's Bloomington campus, the majority of students will be arriving today and tomorrow. The university will kick off Welcome Week tomorrow with a slew of activities aimed at getting students familiar with campus and Bloomington. The first day of classes is scheduled for August 26th.
The time now is 6:40. Walkers, bicyclists, and runners will need a detour along the Monon Trail in Hamilton County. 2 areas of the trail will temporarily close for some improvements. Today and Wednesday, the trail will close between 146th Street and Greyhound Pass, as well as between 156th Street and Viking Meadows. Now, both of these locations are in Westfield. Crews will work on the pavement. The project was supposed to start on Monday, but weekend rain soaked the pavement, and it needs to be dry for this type of work. And Todd, they may have to delay some work later this afternoon because we're also expecting some possible storms later today, as this is a Storm Team 6 alert day.
Yeah, and those storms this afternoon and into the evening hours, Raphael, will have the potential to be strong to severe. Some storms out there this morning as well, and these will definitely impact your morning drive, but we are not expecting these to go severe, but some heavy rainfall in and around the Kokomo area right now with some lightning strikes. A few lightning strikes from Frankfort down towards the Kirkland and Sheridan area, and then we have this thunderstorm that's making its way through southern Brown County and northern portions of Jackson County down to the south. So if you encounter some of this rain, obviously you got to give yourself a little bit of extra time, but you notice back off to our west, and this cluster of storms is what is heading our way later on this afternoon. The track will be important. It should start to dive down to the south, so hopefully maybe it just misses us down to the south, but I do think it will at least clip parts of the area, so a great tool to have is the Storm Shield app. It'll give you any watches, any warnings that are issued by the National Weather Service right to your phone. It has a radar on there you can control, and best of all, it is free. Just go to your app store and download it, so you are certainly certainly going to be prepared. And of course, we'll keep you updated here throughout the day as well. More on the storms coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Inches from disaster. The terrifying video showing the moment a school bus race in southern Indiana nearly ended in tragedy. That's next. This morning, we're getting a stunning look at some video showing the moment a school bus nearly slammed into a crowd of people in southern Indiana. It happened at a zombie school bus race. Ashley Ware was recording the event in Clarksville Saturday night when the driver lost control and crashed into the fence in front of her, just inches from a toddler in the stands. Ware says one little boy in the stands was treated because he got something in his eye, but otherwise he was fine. The driver of the bus was also okay and got out and waved to the crowd afterward.
The time now is 6:45. The state of California is taking steps to cut down on the number of times police fire their weapons. It would set the strictest standard for use of deadly force around the country. This new law says that police can only use deadly force when it's necessary to defend their life. Right now, the standard allows police officers to use deadly force when it's considered reasonable. Officers will also be encouraged to use de-escalation techniques and other crisis intervention methods. In cases where an officer shoots, investigators must look into the officer's conduct leading to that shooting, including whether they try to de-escalate the situation.
Two teens in California got quite the surprise when they discovered a bear had broken into their home in the middle of the night and was raiding their fridge.
Started hearing a noise. And I said, my mom would not be aggressively opening Tupperware at 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that is a 250-pound black bear rummaging through the fridge and around the kitchen. It even helped itself to a container of taco meat. Two 15-year-olds who were home at the time had to barricade themselves in another room and call 911. At one point, the bear tried to open the door to the room they were in. Eventually, a deputy arrived, opening a door and letting the bear out of the house. Glad that ended well. I feel bad that they lost their food, though.
If a bear's in your home, they can have whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly.
They can have whatever they want. This is a Storm Team 6 alert day. Today, we may see some severe weather. Later this afternoon, our Todd Clausen has been tracking this throughout the morning. We've seen a lot of lightning to the west of the city, Todd.
Yeah, there was a tremendous amount of lightning earlier, so many of you may have been woken up by the thunder and you've seen the lightning outside and the heavy rainfall. Here is the view right now as you look from downtown to the north, and you can kind of see some clouds billowing there. We don't have that vivid lightning display like we had earlier, but nonetheless, some of you are encountering some pretty good downpours on your way out the door as you kick off your Tuesday morning here. Some heavy rain in and around the Kokomo area, a few lightning strikes as well as you work your way to the north side there of Howard County as the bypass goes around Kokomo there, and then you continue to the north on 31. Michigan Town to Frankfort, a little bit of heavy rainfall here. This impacts US 421, State Road 28 as well. Then as we slide down to the south, some heavier rainfall. This is mainly south of Nashville and the hills of Brown County there, but nonetheless, that will continue to make its way over towards the Columbus area. So look how these storms blossomed south of Terre Haute, and then they kind of just meandered their way first east, then sliding up towards the northeast. So they didn't really have too much in the way of a directional west to east component with them. But the ones later on this afternoon are likely going to be coming in from the northwest and pushing towards the southeast. It's more of an organized cluster of storms, and you can see that already developing pretty quickly here across parts of Iowa. And already you're kind of seeing the last few frames here of our satellite radar loop, them diving down to the south. So that track should continue. So I think it's more of a threat from Indianapolis to the south for the severe weather today compared to northern locations. But you too will have the opportunity for some of these storms to develop. And the Storm Prediction Center does have a good chunk of the state under the slight risk for severe weather. The enhanced risk has been pushed back into central Illinois. So that is good news, at least for us, that we're not under that risk. But that too can change. And a lot of this is going to be dependent on how much sunshine we see throughout the afternoon hours. So high winds, definitely the moderate threat for us here. Not too concerned about the tornado threat today and the flooding threat. There could be some localized flooding as these storms are occurring, but then as soon as they move out of your neighborhood, since they'll probably move through pretty quick, any floodwaters should start to recede. seeds. So it's not a terrible day for us leading up to this severe threat later on this afternoon. Lots of hazy sunshine mixed in, and the storms will start to blossom mid-afternoon. And then here comes this cluster. You notice on this version of TrueCast, it's a pretty solid line of storms in central Illinois. And as I put it into motion, look what happens. They kind of fall apart as they dive through southern sections of central Indiana. So today's not a slam dunk case for severe weather, but the potential is definitely there. And then the threat should start to come to an end pretty quickly once the sun starts to set across the area later on this evening. So temperatures right now, we are in the mid-70s. It's warm, it's muggy. Highs will get into the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. Heat index values today, they will be climbing up to that about 95 to 97 degree range. Tomorrow's another warm and muggy day for us. Scattered storms once again in the afternoon. More storms on Thursday, but then once we get to Friday and then into the weekend, look at that nice weather. Mostly sunny skies, lows in the 50s in some locations Saturday morning with highs that may not even get up to 80 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. And we are taking a live look right now at traffic from our live drive. Photographer Shay Goodpaster behind the wheel this morning. And you can see just how cloudy and gloomy it is out there this morning. He is currently on I-465 westbound on the south side. No issues to report at this hour.
The time now is 6:50. In less than 2 weeks, Indigo's new red line will officially start rolling through our city. And for the first week, volunteers will be on hand to help answer your questions about the line and the new routes. There's another 2-hour training session for volunteers just for you this evening. Indigo officials say the red line will be a main source of transportation, getting people from Broad Ripple on the north side all the way down to UIndy on the south side.
I'm really excited to be learning how and helping others learn how to use the transit system. Hopefully I can get them to work and home quicker. Hopefully to encourage other people that have cars to leave those at home and use that.
The red line will be open to the public on September the 1st and will be free to ride the entire month. Tonight's training goes from 5 to 7 in the evening in the Riley Meeting Room at the Central Library on East St. Clair Street. That's in downtown Indianapolis. You can learn more about volunteering at our website, theindychannel.com. Next on Good Morning Indiana, pedestrian deaths, they're at a 30-year high in our country. What you can do to make sure bikers and walkers are much safer. That story next, right here on RTV6.
Years and counting on RTV6.
The number of people killed sharing the road with drivers continues to grow. Pedestrian deaths are at a 30-year high, according to the Governor's Highway Safety Association. New research might help reduce that number. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety looked at what lanes would best protect bikers. The protected bike lanes raised from the roadway work the best. Protected bike lanes have a barrier between the lane and traffic. It can be a row of parked cars, landscaping, a curb, or posts. More conventional bike lanes painted on the side of the road also improve safety.
But when you go to a baseball game, you could get more than runs, those fouls, or even strikes. The hit of the game could be an unlikely guest. Take a look at this. Right in the middle of the Minnesota Twins game against the Chicago White Sox, the squirrel somehow got onto the field. It then headed straight for the Twins dugout and right onto the bench. As you can see, many of the players made a run for it to get away. Yep, the squirrel ends up running off into the depths of the stadium.
Well, now to possibly the most controversial topic we have ever covered here on Good Morning Indiana.
So the great debate over what temperature to be set in your thermostat in your home. That's the debate. Well, a new study from the Department of Energy is only adding fuel to the fire. They suggest setting your air conditioning to no cooler than 78 degrees while you are at home.
When you are out of the house, it should be set to 85 degrees and 82 degrees when you sleep. They say these temperatures are the best way to cut down on energy usage and costs. Sounds a little warm to me.
Yeah. 82.
I keep it at 72, 70 maybe.
Yeah, when I sleep, I keep mine at 73. Then during the day, I make it 78.
And of course, you couldn't sleep overnight because of all the lightning and the possibility of rain and all that stuff happening on the west side.
Yeah, you know, some isolated downpours out there this morning, but we're in alert mode for what's going on later on this afternoon. So there are the downpours that you see on radar. Currently, these will move through with some heavy rain, a little bit of lightning, but nothing severe this morning. Then plenty of hazy sunshine in the forecast as we work our way throughout the course of the noon hour. High temperatures today eventually climb up into the upper 80s to right right around 90 degrees. It's later on this afternoon into the evening hours that the severe threat will arrive. I would say anytime around 3, 4 o'clock through about 7 o'clock with damaging wind the main threat. Some spotty storms tomorrow and Thursday, and then finally we get a break from the heat and humidity and also that daily storm chance Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with lots of sunshine, lower humidity. Temperatures right around 80 degrees, and look at those overnight lows. Really, really comfortable. You can give that air condition a little bit of a break and maybe just open the window with lows that'll be in the upper 50s heading into Saturday morning.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic updates.
And remember, all the news that you need throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. As we leave you now with a live look with our live drive unit, there it goes. Cloudy day, possible storm later today. Of course, we'll be tracking that throughout the day here on RTV6. Have a great morning. Good Morning America is next.